Hey everybody, I wanted to give a day 2 update, this time about Epcot and a little more about the Skyliner kerfuffle this morning, because I didn't mention this, but it never occurred to me this would be an issue. So anyway, went to Epcot today with my good friend Steve, and we had a great time. You know, it's Food and Wine Festival right now, and I'll get to more of that later. And quite literally, since I've worked for Disney, both of us have worked for Disney for so long that we're kind of like, yeah, when it comes to the rides, like, yeah, I can, there's nothing like we necessarily have to go on it. Like, I must do this. Although soaring is near the top of my list. I always love soaring. But anyway, so the park didn't open till 11. So Epcot was open till 11 to 7 today. And studios opened at 10. So this is important because I am held hostage at this resort if I need to go anywhere via the Skyway, because they didn't open till 9. So I didn't know that. Well, and I they have a vague, like, transportation will run and, approximately 45 minutes prior to park opening. And so I was like, well, does that mean if you're going on main transportation, like, anyway. So I went out to, I was going to go grab some breakfast at the Riviera Resort. And so I got in line for the Skyway around 8:15, and I'm like, oh, that'll give me plenty of time. Surely the Skyway will take me to Riviera. No, it did not. The line for the Skyway grew until it basically went down the sidewalk almost around the corner to the Art of Animation Resort. I know that's, for some of you are like, I don't know what that means, but trust me when I say it was a very long line. And then, so at 8:45, I realized that there's no way I could get over to Riviera and then back to my room by 10 to meet my friend. So I just kind of gave up on that dream and got out of line. And so when my friend showed up at 10, and we're like, we're going to take the Skyway over to Epcot and it's going to be fun. And so the Skyway from Pop Century is set up into two lines to get to either studios or Epcot. And the first line is you get on the Pop Century Art of Animation hub, and then it takes you to Caribbean Beach, which is the main hub. So no line to get on there at 10. Oh, okay then. We're gonna. Anyway, I had a little technical glitch. My gimbal kind of crapped out, and it's still kind of acting funny. Well, there it goes again. Okay, we'll try this one more time. Make sure my gimbal doesn't decide to break down. Anyway, so Steve and I got on the Skyway, no problem, going from Pop to the Caribbean Beach. Really? Okay, is that how you're gonna play? Okay, so got rid of the gimbal, and now we should not have that problem again. Anyway, so we got to the Riviera Resort, or not the Riviera, the Caribbean Beach. Got off the thing, and they sent us literally out into the parking lot to the end of the line, and the line to get on either the Skyway to Epcot or to Studios was literally 45 minutes to an hour wait, and the park was about to open. So my friends, who's we're cast members. Well, I'm not a cast member anymore, but Steve is still a cast member, and I looked at him like, can we take your car? Because literally this is going to take us an hour to get there, and we might as well just go back to the resort, take the car, and we'll get there in half the time. So we decided to do that instead, and it's like a note to myself, like, free transportation, it's awesome, but the payoff or the price for that is that you might have to wait an hour at the hub to get on a Skyway, and that won't get you to the park in time for park opening. So we drove to Epcot and got there about 11:05, I think. So we made it in time for basically park opening. But tomorrow I'm going to Studios, and I need to be in the park at 10 a.m. to get on the Rise of the Resistance virtual boarding party list, because I've never been on Rise of the Resistance, and you really have to be there literally at 10 a.m. and you have to be ready, and you have to, otherwise you're just not going to get a virtual queue line for that. So I'm actually going to Uber tomorrow. I'm going to set up my Uber tonight, and I'm going to Uber over to Studios and pay the kind of a convenience fee, if you would, because this is a priority, and I don't normally do priorities like this since I kind of an old hand at Disney. But I will definitely take an Uber tomorrow to the Studios, and then try to get on Rise of the Resistance tomorrow. And tomorrow, I don't know if anybody's joining me in the park. One of my friends had said that he was going to call in sick and join me there. He's a school teacher, so I don't know if that's actually going to happen. But he was dead serious because he wanted to ride all the Star Wars attraction stuff and see. He hasn't seen it yet. So we'll see if I have friends with me tomorrow. But so Epcot, back to Epcot. There's still a lot of construction at Epcot. The crowd level was low. The crowd level was awesome. So we went on Soarin' the very first thing when we got in the park, and the wait time was 10 minutes. But when we came off the ride, you could tell the wait time had like doubled, if not tripled, to like 30 to 40 minutes, because the queue looked absolutely much larger than when there wasn't a queue when we went in there. And then we did Living with the Land, and the wait time for that was 10 minutes. And then we did, because I love I'm going to call it Living Seas. That's how old I am. It used to be Living Seas. The Seas with Nemo and Friends, because I love that cute little ride. So we did that, and then we started doing the food and wine booths. The problem with food and wine is that you can really only do 3 or 4 booths before you're like full, and and that's, dropping, the stuff there is not cheap by any means for what you're getting. So we did, let's see, the NFL booth, and I can't remember, with fireworks or fire or something like that. And I'll probably put together an album with all the things that we ate. The big thing they added this year, and I really wish they would do more with it because it was awesome and I loved it, and I wish they had more things in there, but social distancing, I can understand why they didn't do it. They took the Old Millennium show place, which is the World Showcase place. I can't remember off the top of my head what that convention space is between the UK and Canada, and they put a whole bunch of, like, they put not Canadian, they put the orchard in there, the champagne, the macaroni and cheese booth. They had a maple syrup booth, and there's like 1 or 2 more. Epcot Favorites, or Festival Favorites, which had one of Steve and I's favorite thing, which is the Guinness Bailey's milkshake. It was I didn't have any of his milkshake today, but I remember it being very, very good last time. And so it was a really great space to kind of get a whole bunch of different kinds of food and take your mask off and be at a table. They had somebody from Epcot Entertainment who Steve and I knew for years because she played piano at Old Pleasure Island at the Comedy Warehouse, and then she's like the piano player at the UK, and we're like, oh good, they didn't fire Carol. So that was nice. She played like show tunes, our Disney favorite tunes on the piano while you ate. It was a really great use of that space. So and then we did American Adventure, which is always good. I always love that. And walked around, did a couple more booths. And since I'm a Muppet fan, and I hadn't been to the Regal Eagle Smokehouse since it used to be Liberty Inn, now it's the Regal Eagle Smokehouse Barbecue. We decided to split some barbecue there, and I thought it was pretty good barbecue. We had ribs. It was good. Loved the Muppet decor. is very understated, like everybody said. So it was a very lovely space. And then I bought a whole bunch of merch today because, well, because I can. I don't know. I didn't think about how I'm going to get it home. I got my yellow bird and Spike the Bee sippers and a couple other things. I'm a big Spike the Bee fan, so there's that. And then I'm also a yellow bird fan because it's trendy, and I have the Halloween Minnie and Mickey, and I bought a whole bunch of other stuff. Anyway, so Epcot, Food and Wine, despite the fact that there's not as many booths as usual, we had no problem getting around the World Showcase. It seemed very low attendance in that respect. So there was one of the more shocking moments is when we went into the Mexican Pavilion, and since they're doing COVID restrictions in there, it was virtually empty. And to see San Angel Inn, to see the restaurant just completely lifeless. I mean, nobody was in there. It was kind of shocking, but it was also kind of was like, oh, you're not crammed in here with like 12,000 people who are all been at Cava del Tequila getting smashed. It was very quiet in there and very lovely to see. You could actually see things and not be shoved around. So, and the mariachi band was playing at the American Gardens Theater, so they were outside. It was nice to hear them. Other than that, I've been talking for almost 12 minutes, despite a couple technical glitches. Tomorrow is my studios day, my only studios day. And like I said, my priority is Minnie Mickey's Runaway Railway, which I will stand in line for an hour just to ride it. And Rise of the Resistance, which may or may not happen depending on if the ride is running and if I can get into the virtual queue. But other than that, Studios is my own old stomping ground. Been there, we used to work there for years, so nothing else kind of, I love Tower of Terror. I'll probably go on that a couple times, but, and Toy Story Mania, love Toy Story Mania. So I'll probably just chill and do a couple things I haven't done, and the rest of it, it's kind of like whatever, it's been there forever. And then I will probably go, if I have enough time tomorrow night after Studios closes, I'm probably going to go over to Animal Kingdom Lodge and see a friend of mine. She doesn't know that yet, but I'm going to go see if she's working, and that's all. But again, transportation, a big, almost what makes me, as somebody who's been with the parks for a long time, makes me want to get my own car and drive my own car to the parks as opposed to take free transportation. But it's free, so trade-off, free versus, paying for parking. But depends on how much convenience you want to pay for. Anyway, so if you have questions, you can always leave me questions. You can email me, Deborah.Shaban@Mousetails Travel. You can Facebook me, you can text me. I would love to help you with your Disney plans. I can definitely give you my honest opinion and feedback about my experiences and whether or not you should go right now or if you want to wait. And let me know what you think. Have a good night.